We're in Inverness.
And it's the official starting point for the NC500. Hi everyone, it's Mike, Trish and Kira out for another adventure. This time we're at Culloden Moor and it's the start of our NC500 tour of Scotland. Now if you don't know what the NC500 is, you know, what planet have you been on? But no, seriously, I know that we do have some viewers from overseas. So the NC500 is a 500-mile round trip of the north coast of Scotland. Now, this is an iconic trip. It's absolutely fantastic. So we wanted to be sure that we're very well prepared for this trip. And that's why we've bought ourselves this. This book is The North Coast Journey by Bridget Benson. Now, it's really important for us that we don't miss anything and that we see everything that we want to see. So this is why we've got this book.
There's also an NC500 website with lots of information about what to see and what to do. And there's an app for your mobile phone which gives you access to an interactive map. The filter lets you search for whatever you want, for example, petrol stations. I'm sure we will need to be using that one.
If being online is your thing, and if you're a member of Facebook, there are just so many different Facebook groups about the NC500. Here's just a few. I have to be honest, I kind of lost count after about 5 or 6. But if that's your thing, there's lots of information on there and a good bit of chat as well from other fans of the NC500.
We're really looking forward to this. We're going to do it over, 3 weeks?
Yep.
We're looking forward to showing you as much as we can. Where are we going to start? Inverness!
Because the NC500, it starts right here. Outside Inverness Castle is this statue of Flora MacDonald, in honour of the role that she played in helping Bonnie Prince Charlie to flee to the Isle of Skye after the Jacobites were defeated at the Battle of Culloden in 1746. The very best place to see Inverness is from the viewing platform at the top of Inverness Castle. Heading up the stairs inside the castle now. The viewing platform is just up this way. Nearly there. There are actually a number of rooms inside the castle where you can stop to watch some different movies about Inverness. So I've just been in one, sat there for about 15 minutes and watched a little film all about the city centre of Inverness and a bit about the history.
When David Lloyd George was Prime Minister and a young Winston Churchill was Colonial Secretary.
Ah, now that's what I call a view. I certainly enjoyed that viewing platform up at the castle. £6 to get in, but definitely worth it. And now it's lunchtime, so we've stopped into a little restaurant called Steak and Seafood. Trish didn't get to come to the castle because no dogs allowed, so somebody had to stay and look after Kira. So to make up for it, I'm treating her to a nice wee lunch. I'm having the burger. Trish is having the tuna.
And it's very, very tasty. Would recommend it.
You want a bit, Kira? There you go. You have a little bit. Good girl. So we're going to tuck into this and then head back to the campsite. That's us back at Culloden Moor Caravan and Motorhome Club site. The site's on quite a steep slope, and the pitches have been levelled a bit. But even with these little ramps under the front wheels, the van's still on a bit of a slope. The toilet block and washing up facilities are good here, and the dog walk through the woods is definitely worth exploring. There's lots of different trails to follow. We had to be careful not to get lost. As we went through these woods, we kept spotting lots of different types of fungi, and we're no experts, but we think that this one's called a pepper pot. And we're just out for a walk because this little trail from Culloden Moor campsite actually takes us along to the famous battle site of Culloden itself. In 1746, the Jacobite army of Bonnie Prince Charlie fought here in battle against the British government forces. It was a decisive government victory, and around 1,500 men died, mostly from the Jacobite side. The red flags show where government forces under William Augustus, the Duke of Cumberland, formed their front line. And the blue flags show where the Jacobites made their stand. These memorial stones mark the graves of the many Scottish clans that fought and died for the Jacobite cause. The memorial cairn was erected in 1881 by Duncan Forbes of Culloden, who had also set up the headstones for the graves of the different clans. The cottage that stands here now was built on the site of farm buildings that are known to have been here at the time of the battle. The superior numbers of government forces moved around these buildings, forcing the Jacobites to retreat. Give Kira half a chance to have a run around and she's gonna take it.
Yeah.
Hey. Hello. Well, the Culloden site was really something else, wasn't it?
It was really, really good. Recommend it.
Definitely. But it's lunchtime now, so we've come out to the Culloden Moor Inn for some lunch. We were tempted in by the sign that said lunch all day, and now that we're here, we find that lunch starts at 4 PM. So guess what's for lunch? Crisps.
And wine.
But never mind, on the bright side, this is only, what, 10-minute walk away from the Clava Cairns.
Yeah.
Now, these are prehistoric cairns, so we're just going to have a quick swally, and then we're going to see the cairns.
Cheers!
Cheers! That's us, we've arrived at the cairns. Let's go in and have a look. The Clava Cairns are around 4,000 years old and consist of 3 large burial mounds, each surrounded by a ring of standing stones. Many of the stones are at least 9 or 10 feet high. The passageway into the northeast cairn is aligned to the midwinter sunset, so on the shortest day of the year, the sun would illuminate the chamber. This is known as the ring cairn. It may once have had an entrance, but if it did, it hasn't been identified. This is the southwest cairn. Here, radiocarbon dating has revealed that the cairns date back to about 2000 BC, but they were reused up to 1,000 years later. We're moving on from the cairns now to something a bit more modern. Just down the road from the cairns, but equally impressive, is the Clava Viaduct. Also known as the Nairn or Culloden Viaduct, was opened in 1898 as part of the Inverness and Aviemore Direct Railway. The 29-span viaduct crosses the River Nairn, and at 549 metres in length, it's the longest brick-built viaduct in Scotland. Well, it's been a great day out today. We've been to Culloden, we've been to the Clava Cairns, and then we've been to the Clava Viaduct. The great thing about it, it was all downhill this walk. The bad thing about it is, whenever you go downhill,
You've got to go up.
you've got to go back up again. So it may take us a while to get back to the campsite. We're back at the campsite. We actually made it all the way up that hill. Woo. It was quite a walk. Now, according to this little watch thing of mine, this gadget, we've done about 25,000 steps, or 12 miles.
Excuse me, I've got smaller steps than you. I've done 30,000.
Oh,
That's
true.
what I reckon.
Very true.
30,000.
Anyway, regardless of how many it was quite a walk and we're pretty tired, so we're going to call it a day and chill out at the van for a little while.
Yep.
Tomorrow we're heading off to our next phase of the NC500 and we're heading west. Alright, so make sure that you give us a wee subscribe and don't miss that one or the future episodes. But for now,
Bye.
ta-da!